Hey dudes, this is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Today's episode, we have our free agency reactions, got some predictions, early top 5 fantasy wide receiver rankings, sandwich mouth Rushmore, and I am joined by Phil, Jordan, and Seth. We are going to jump right into this free agent signings here, guys. Phil, Seth, how are we doing? You got Sam Darnold at the helm here. No more Geno Smith. Just totally, new year, new Seahawks, new OC, right? Not
no
new
DK.
coach. No DK. Seth, how are you doing without DK, man? That was kind of like, your childhood hero, I believe. You guys both had a similar hairstyle, stuff like that.
I never really had that connection with DK Metcalf. I think it was like some of his, I don't know if it was some of his antics, or maybe he just kind of never really, he lived up to the hype in moments, but was never like that consistent, like live up to the moment hype like, we had with the Seahawks dynasty, when having, the Legion of Boom or just consistent receivers that came out of nowhere and just produced consistently. I just never felt that connection with DK. That's exactly why I bought a JSN Seahawks throwback jersey. My brother bought a DK one. I bet you he feels like an idiot now. So I don't. I bought a JSN one. And guess what? JSN's probably going to be a top 5 receiver draft pick next year.
Seth, you're stealing my thunder here for our wide receiver rankings here when you do stuff like that.
Well, it's fine.
Well, let me ask you though. I feel like you're more of you were probably more of like a Doug Baldwin type guy than like a DK Metcalf. Would you say that?
Yeah, Doug Baldwin, talk about grit. That is the definition of grit right there.
Let's go, baby. And he was way more clutch.
Yeah, it's super consistent.
I would go so far to say Golden Tate was more consistent than DK Metcalf.
Stop.
But there's some fun moments there too.
We have to draw the line, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah. Phil's going to start bringing. Who knows who Phil's going to bring in? I'm sure he's googling.
Let me say this: I'm more sad that Tyler Lockett is no longer on the team than DK is.
Yeah, you're going to miss a couple, personal foul penalties each year, stuff like that. The Buda Baker, interception return, that was kind of a big deal when he caught Buda Baker. That's been a meme. So
no more pacifier.
I'm just excited the Seahawks are finally making some moves. Like, I feel like we've just been been in this weird like limbo mode where we're just waiting to make things happen. And, I never really thought Geno could win us, or even, win us that much outside of maybe a first round playoff game. And I actually think Sam Darnold, is, potentially good enough to get us there. I don't know about a Super Bowl caliber team right now, but it seems like the Seahawks are willing to make some substantial moves to make the team better this year by getting rid of, some high profile guys. So.
Jordan, let's bring this back in here. Is Sam Darnold that much better than Geno Smith? Is this a lateral move, or is this just a little bit of a boost here?
I think it's probably a lateral, if not worse move. I don't know. I'm not sold that Darnold is as good as he was last year. And we kind of saw him fall off the train a little bit towards the end of the season. So honestly, I think Sam Darnold and Geno Smith are pretty comparable quarterbacks. All this tells me is how much they must hate, and the Raiders too, like how everyone must just hate the quarterback class this year. So, because this is kind of a weird, they're throwing a bunch of money out at subpar quarterbacks, average at best quarterbacks.
So, Phil, let's say this. Who would you rather have at quarterback? Would you rather have Quinn Ewers or Sam Darnold? Because you used to be a USC fan. Now you're a Texas fan. So who would you rather have, at the helm in Seattle?
I think I would probably have, Quinn Ewers towards the end of last year just really fell off for me. I feel like he fell off for all of you guys too, right?
He kind of is what he is.
I was never really sold, to be honest.
I really liked him. So I liked Quinn Ewers. I actually really liked Quinn Ewers for quite a bit of the season. And the last couple games of the season, he just kind of fell off on me. I like Darnold. I've rooted for SC for a lot of years in my youth. And I think Darnold has. I like the story about Darnold, and Geno obviously had a story too. But I just think that Darnold, there's more of a chance of Darnold winning than I think there was with Geno Smith. That's my humble opinion.
Yeah, but so the thing with Darnold is you have a 1 year sample size of him being good, and a 5 to 6 year. I don't know how long he's been in the league. 4 to 6 year sample size of him being not good. Like I don't.
Yeah, but not really though, because I think during those years he was like
also every quarterback on the Jets has freaking sucked. Let's just remember that.
Yeah, this is more
New York Jets fault.
Yeah, more New York Jets sloppy leftovers here, guys. Let's remember that.
That's true. That's true. Geno did play for the Jets.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that like it's a lot of money for a guy who's done 1 year, played 1 year of good football in this league.
Well, I will say this. I don't think his contract is that detrimental. Like, I think the Seahawks are going to draft a quarterback, I think, in the next 3 years.
How much was guaranteed in that deal?
It's like half of what the contract is.
So it's like $50 million guaranteed?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Yeah. And they offered Geno the same amount of money, and he said no, I believe is what happened. So they gave him
wanted the fourth year?
He wanted the fourth
year on the contract.
Not 100% sure there. But we could talk about other stuff. Like Phil, like DK Metcalf wanted to go somewhere warm. He wanted $30 million a year. Also, for those of you new to the show, I will timestamp everything in the show notes to go check.
Wait,
that
let's
out.
just finish. Let's just finish with Darnold. Jordan, I don't think it's fair to say that he sucked the last 3 years outside of that. Like he was a back. Like yes, he was not a starter. He was a backup some of those years. But I don't think it's easy to say. I mean, it's fair to say that he sucked those last 3 years.
Just 1 year. What year did he play good at? The Panthers are like, Jets light.
So I should be fair. 2 years he played for the Niners, right? The last 2 years he's been backup on the Niners before the Vikings.
Yeah, but
this was his best year. Hold on, this was his best year as a starter on the Jets
by far.
He threw for 3,000 yards.
You mean Vikings?
19 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. 19 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 84.3 QB rating.
That easily could be Trevor Lawrence.
61%,
that could be Trevor Lawrence's numbers, and you would still be saying like, I think we got a chance with this guy. Like, I don't think it's fair to say that with Sam. I bet you if you looked at their numbers, comparable numbers, they're probably pretty similar.
That's fine. But Trevor Lawrence is on his rookie contract. Probably didn't get his second contract, or he's on his extension of his rookie contract. You're talking about Sam Darnold is on his fourth team. This is now his fifth team in the league, and you're giving him a 3-year, $99 million contract after you've just cut your one receiver, you shipped off another one. Just rebuild and draft a quarterback. Like, why are we like giving these retreads a bunch of money?
I don't know. I just don't hate it. I think for the same reason that
they're gonna draft receiver and they're going to draft quarterbacks. They're going to do both.
You know why they're not doing it, Jordan? Because you have a new coach. He has to put something together here. There's no guarantee that he's even going to get to see the new quarterback come into fruition. This is his second year. Right? Yeah, so it's like he obviously doesn't like any of the quarterbacks in the draft class right now. There's a couple free agents that he kind of likes. They probably, if they keep Geno, do enough to win 8 to 10 games and not make playoffs or early exit. So this is a way that maybe they win a playoff game. Maybe they compete in the NFC West and just see what happens. But yeah, it's a weird rebuild, Jordan. Like I don't think they have the team that they can get that QB they want in a draft. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless
what do you mean?
Like Jackson Dart, maybe late, but I don't know. He might go earlier than one.
No, they can trade up. They got a ton of picks. They had 2 third rounders, 2 second rounders. Like, they could have easily packaged a first round pick next year. There's ways they could have traded up to get a quarterback this year. But it just tells you that they were not thrilled with the quarterback class.
Well, they got the second round draft pick from the Steelers. Like, I think probably the first quarterback is going. I mean, let's call it the quarterback's going in the second round, maybe the third quarterback.
What do you mean?
How many quarterbacks do you think are going to get drafted in the first round this year?
At least 2.
Ward, Dart, and Sanders will all be first-round picks.
Okay, so I was wrong. I said third. You still have the opportunity to get the number 3 guy in the second round.
No, all 3 of those guys are going to be first-round picks.
No. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, they'll
Dart will be a first-round pick.
Yeah, because even like J.J. McCarthy went, this past year, like people weren't sure if he was going to go first round. Like QBs just start going off the board in that first round. Other stuff. Is that enough? I was going to open up the pod with, Pete Carroll wrote back to Geno. Like, that's what I thought I should open up the pod with. And today's just been crazy. Opening day of free agency has been wild. And remember, with free agency starting, guys, today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Underdog. Head over to Underdog Fantasy and enter promo code DUDES. They'll match you up to $1,000. Get set up for March Madness. Do those off-season best ball drafts. See if you can get the edge on guys, knowing these rookies, better than they do. But go do best ball. It's a lot of fun, guys. And check out the March Madness as well. Head over to Underdog. Promo code DUDES. Match you up to $1,000. Head over to trophysmack.com/dudes. 15% off, guys, your entire order. Get that customized trophy for your fantasy football league, last place punishments, all that other good stuff. Geno Smith, guys. Okay, this is kind of like, Geno Smith going to the Raiders. I'm not feeling like Raider fans are really thrilled with this. Is that safe to say, Seth? You have a good pulse on Raider fans. What are you hearing? Like, you have your ear to the ground. What are they saying?
They're just expected to maybe be slightly better than what they were, but just be mid again. I think all the Raiders guys are hopefully they're just hoping they still draft a quarterback and hope that becomes a thing. So I don't know. I just know that they're just down in the dumps and they'll probably stay there.
Yeah. So this is an example, Raiders fans have wanted a lot, out of the quarterback position. My wife texted me a couple weeks ago. She's at the grocery store. She says, "Hey, do we need more Chick-fil-A sauce?" I don't even have to get up and look in the fridge. I know we are out of Chick-fil-A sauce. I say, "Yes, please get some more Chick-fil-A sauce, would you?" And she says, "Okay." Comes home. "Hey, got the Chick-fil-A sauce. We have our, we got our chicken strips that we throw in the air fryer." Super excited. Lo and behold, but when I squirt the bottle, it is barbecue sauce. And hey, The barbecue sauce is really good, but it's packaged just like the Chick-fil-A sauce. It just says barbecue in red. It's kind of wrong how they do that. So this is kind of reminds me of the Raiders. Like, you wanted a quarterback, but you didn't get the quarterback you wanted. You know what I mean? You wanted this, You got that. Is it bad? It's not bad. It's okay. It's not what you wanted, though. You would have rather got somebody in the draft or something like that unknown of like, maybe this is Geno Smith. You kind of just know what you're getting. You're getting a guy that's not going to lose you that many games, not going to win you that many games. But this Chick-fil-A thing, it just went full circle with me. Like, as soon as I saw the Geno Smith signing, I thought, that reminds me of my Chick-fil-A story. Was I mad? The barbecue sauce is actually really good, but it's just not what I wanted. I had barbecue sauce in the fridge. Phil, is that the analogy you can finally understand?
It's an analogy I finally understand. Yeah. I don't think that there's been another analogy that I've understood. I don't know. I think that it's just also they probably weren't overly like Pete Carroll in Oakland is so much different than basically any other coach that they've had at that organization. What other coach is similar to Pete Carroll?
We know he's like on your Mount Rushmore of top coaches.
No. I'm just saying, like, the way that he operates, like his attitude, he's nowhere near close to Gruden. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he's just like this happy-go-lucky guy. You see him in the silver and black. Like, it might be a new era in Las Vegas. That's all I'm saying. It is an entirely different organization there. I just don't know. Like what. I think that Raider fans should stop having expectations, is what I should say.
How is it a completely different organization? It's the same. They're doing the same thing over and over again.
Thank you, Jordan.
Hiring retread old coaches, just doing stupid stuff that's going to let them be a middle of the pack, an average to mediocre team at best every single year.
All right, sorry.
Instead of just saying,
I was a little bit distracted.
Threw a ton of money.
Distracted.
at an old Max Crosby who's on the downside of his career. Like, he's in his, like, the end of his prime. Like, they just keep throwing money around. Like, it doesn't make any sense what they're doing. And it's just like, okay, let's just, instead of just going full rebuild, tear it all down, draft rookie quarterback, like, hire a young coach. Like, it doesn't make any sense what they do.
Jordan, you need to be nice. Clear. No, Jordan, be nice, okay? Phil is now, like, on the fence, like, teetering of, like, being a Raiders fan again. It's like, we got Geno, we got Pete Carroll back. Like, he's just waiting for them to sign Tyler Lockett. And he'll just be all in, like, he's just going to rip his Russell Wilson jersey and pull out his Tyrone Wheatley jersey, and he'll just be back. He'll just be all silver and black again.
I mean, if they bring back Luke Wilson to back up Brock Bowers at tight end, I will 100% be a Raiders fan. I don't know if you remember our second string tight end, Luke Wilson. You remember that guy, Seth?
Yes, I remember Luke Wilson, but why are you talking about him?
Anyhow, this is what I was going to say. So Mel Kiper, our good buddy Mel Kiper, does not have three quarterbacks in the in round one, Jordan, just for what it's worth. So I think that the Seahawks, in theory, could have gotten.
If the Steelers go Rodgers, Jets go Fields, Raiders, Geno. I mean, it does.
Yeah, Jets did go Fields for what it's worth, Jordan.
Yeah,
they did go Fields.
No, I know they did. The landing spots are less now for quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that if the Seahawks really wanted to, all I'm saying is that the Sam Darnold thing doesn't bother me, especially with the QB draft class. Maybe you're right about how much they should have paid him, but with the Raiders, it's an entirely new organization. Like, they are taking basically
a new organization. Yes. Stop.
They've
doing
gone
the same thing.
They're making Las Vegas SoCal, and I hate the word. I hate SoCal. I hate saying that, but they're making Las Vegas SoCal by bringing in Pete Carroll. You're going to see it. They're going to be. I think the Raiders win the West this year. I'm calling it right now.
Stop. This is a. Does everybody want to buck bet them? Does anyone want to buck? I will bet.
I would have bet them.
Hold on.
Max wager. Whatever the max bet is.
I don't think Raiders. I don't think the Raiders win the West. How about this? We say
no. What are you going to say? 7 games? No, the West is good.
I was going to say I would say I'm going to go. They win 9 games, so over 8.5.
So they're a 500 team, average to mediocre. Like I said, like I don't.
Okay, fine. Raiders win 10 games. Raiders win 10 games.
I'll take you on that. So 9.5.
Yeah, under
9.5
for sure.
Okay,
under
buck bet.
Okay,
are we gonna tally up all our buck bets from last year and pay each other out, or what's the deal here?
I need to go back and look at that. I have a lot better column to follow this.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins also wants to get out of Hotlanta. He said he wants to go to a place where he could be a starter. Crazy, they just paid him, I know, but he wants to get out of there, which I think is probably infuriates Jordan. The quarterback right now, quarterbacks is just it's a mess right now, Jordan. I could easily see him going to Jacksonville and taking over the job.
There's like 7 good quarterbacks in the NFL. That's why.
And also, what's up with Kyler Murray? Nothing goes on in Arizona. No one is like saying like, "Hey, let's get rid of Kyler Murray." Maybe Arizona fans, but like no chatter has happened about Kyler Murray, and that guy he's not good.
Dog water.
Because what are they? Would you rather have Geno Smith or Kyler Murray? Like, I feel like it's
Geno Smith. 100% Geno Smith.
Jordan, you Geno on that?
I mean, I'd probably go in Kyler, but I don't know.
Okay. Kyler or Darnold, because you said Geno and Darnold were the same.
Kyler.
Wow.
So I don't believe
fantasy or football.
Why did the Cardinals suck?
I don't believe in Darnold's resurgence last year. I don't believe in it. So I need to see it again.
That's fair to say, Jordan.
And he looked awful those last few games he played.
Yeah, he did. He was battling injuries though.
I don't know if that's true, Phil.
I don't know how you say that Kyler was good. Did they win 3 games last year? I'm not saying
Kyler was good either. Like you're talking about average at best quarterbacks. Like I don't.
Kyler Murray. Who do you think
finished last year?
Who do you think finished higher in fantasy points, Phil? Kyler or Geno?
Geno for sure.
Kyler was QB 10. Geno was QB 13.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, I did not realize that.
Sorry to ruin your night.
You did. You've ruined my night.
Yeah. So, anyways, other NFL news here. Do we want to do some predictions here? Like, we got there's still some big names out there. I like kind of just keeping it on the West Coast. I like the Najee Harris to the Chargers signing. I know I've always been a Najee Harris, truther here, but 1,000 yards every year. Going to Harbaugh, who loves just running the ball. He doesn't fumble the ball. He has very good ball security, Najee Harris. I could see this in a spot where he just gets, like 10 rushing touchdowns this year, has a solid fantasy season. You get him late in drafts. Harbaugh wants to run the ball. That's why I like it, and I think he will run the ball.
Dobbins is still there. Dobbins is still there, though.
Dobbins is still there, but I think he is a free agent, though, right? He could sign somewhere else.
He signed a 1-year deal last year.
Yeah, I have Dobbins on my list as a free agent, but maybe double check me. I thought he was a free agent, and so I do like. I don't know why they wouldn't re-sign him, because I think Harbaugh likes using multiple guys, and I think they're kind of different running backs. So if they're both there, it's obviously not a good fantasy viable option. It'll be like a,
Yeah, nothing on Dobbins. He's a free agent, just nothing on him.
Yeah, hasn't said anything. So he might want to go somewhere else. And then Justin Fields, the New York Jets. Do we think this? I think this has to be an upgrade for Garrett Wilson.
I don't know about an upgrade, but
you think it's lateral?
It's worse.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like Davante being gone just is the upgrade for him. Like I don't know.
Justin Fields, 2 years ago was DJ Moore wide receiver 3 with Justin Fields. He was a top.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's good.
And then could be good for Breece Hall too.
Yeah, I think it's just the type of offense they're gonna run with Aaron Glenn. So, Trent, the real quick on the Najee stuff. What I love about him leaving the Pittsburgh is Jaylen Warren season.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the backfield to himself.
I figured that, but don't you think Steelers draft somebody like this is the most?
Yeah,
put it this way, most talent Arthur Smith has had since he had Bijan, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London. So, how could he possibly mess this up? You got Pickens and DK Metcalf fighting over the number 14 jersey.
You think Pickens stays there, or they trade Pickens?
I think they want to trade Pickens. I don't know, if you're a GM, you see the talent Pickens has, but what are you really willing to offer for Pickens?
Yeah, but you can't have both DK and Pickens on the same team.
I think you're right. So what all this says, even if they keep Pickens, it just means it's Calvin Austin's season, knowing Arthur Smith, right? He'll just be the guy he throws the ball to.
You know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do? If they sign Rodgers, it's going to be YOLO balls to DK and Pickens every single throw. He's going to throw it up, let him get it.
Yeah.
What did you say, Seth?
So that'd be cool.
You're in. You're a Pickens guy. How do you feel about DK going there?
I don't care about the Steelers.
All right.
Jordan, where do we think, we probably should talk about Davante Adams too, but where do we think, the other weird one, Kenny Pickett going to the Browns, no way he's the starter there. You think they draft, I know Myles Garrett doesn't
Super Bowl champ Kenny Pickens.
Yeah. Myles Garrett obviously doesn't care about winning as much as he made it out to be, that he's got that
he
money.
Doesn't care. It's always all about the money, guys. All about the money.
That's a lot of times, yes. I think there's I thought he'd maybe leave Cleveland.
No.
I don't know, but you got so now Kenny Pickett, I guess, maybe they're a team that reaches on a QB in the first round. And then the one I like
we didn't talk about Debo. We didn't talk about, I know you're moved on. We didn't talk about Debo because you were at
I like what the Commanders are doing this offseason. I know, Jordan, you don't really like what they're doing. I know.
No, I didn't say I didn't like it. You used the words they're dominating. And they were having a good offseason. They took some chances on some flyers on some guys. I think the Debo Samuel flyer was 100% worth it. The Laramie Tunsil one, they gave up a lot for him. And Tunsil, quite frankly, was awful last year.
Yeah,
and
he was 4th in pass pro though, rated on PFF. So he's a little better than what you think. Just pass pro total. Year. And then I also think that so 7 games with 0 pressures allowed in 24, second in the league, 88.6 pass blocking grade, 4th in the league per PFF, 3.3% pressure rate allowed since 21, 76.5 overall grade. I think what PFF is doing is I think they're crediting CJ Stroud's sacks a lot with himself holding onto the ball too long.
I know. I just from the eye test, he was bad. Like penalties a lot, and just But then like the Debo one, I like. They didn't give up much for him. There's kind of a risk-free swing at some potential, and so I like the Debo signing for the Commanders. He was bad last year, and they're both on they're both on the wrong side. They're 29 and 30, the both of them. So like alignment that maybe matters a little bit less, but receiver Debo at 20, I don't know. Sometimes you just fall off the cliff, man. The fall off the cliff in the NFL can be quick and fast.
I also think Debo, though, is the type of guy that will mentally just check out. I think he checked out last season. I don't think he wanted to be a 49er. I think he was kind of done. And not being the number one, Terry McLaurin, this helps McLaurin out too. Is just an underneath guy. But yeah, I like what they're doing for Daniels. It kind of has a little bit of the CJ Stroud-esque type stuff, Jordan. Like go out and get that big not free agent, but big wide receiver, stuff like that. It's kind of like a repeat on that. Davante Adams to the Rams. I think the Rams, this makes Rams serious NFC West contenders, I think. They contended last year.
They overpaid them, though.
What'd you say? They overpaid? Yeah, they overpaid them. Yeah, but they're the types that they'll throw away 2 years from now if they can win this year, right? Like how they go all in on stuff like that. With Puka, and I think Adams still good. Cooper Kupp's looking like might be a free agent. If they can't find a trade suitor for him, they might just let him walk. So Kyren Williams, Puka Nacua. Is this the best wide receiver core in the NFL now, Puka and Davante Adams? Anyone you could
think it's better than Chase and Higgins?
Yeah, I don't know if it's better than that.
Do you think Higgins is going to stay?
We got franchise tag.
Yeah, I know, but you think he'll? I mean, like, do you think he'll play?
He played last year.
I mean, yeah, he'll play.
Okay.
You don't give up like $28 million or however much. Yeah. I mean, it's
the
other that's a big franchise tag.
Yeah.
Depends like how good you think Davante is, I think.
I think that Stafford can just, lock in on Davante.
Because like
he's totally different than Puka and Cooper Kupp. He's a jump ball guy that,
No, I know, but like so that like I could argue Jameson and Amon St. Brown are better than Puka and Davante.
Jameson. I think I probably need to see a little bit more out of Jameson, but yeah, I could see that.
I'm just saying,
I could see that happening this year. Yeah,
it depends, like how good you think Davante is. I guess is what I'm saying. Like
you could probably argue Justin Jefferson and Addison possibly too.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you really want to you could argue the Chiefs have the best wide receiver core in the NFL.
I need to see that more still, I think.
But I mean, the trio of Worthy, Rice, and Hollywood.
I'm forgetting about Rice. The Rice is the one I'm forgetting about.
Yeah,
Rice is good.
You're liable for one to not be on the field, because he might do something stupid. But
yeah, there's still plenty of time for the Chiefs receivers, to be suspended for a whole entire season too. So, Rice has that court thing even gone through?
I have no idea. I don't think so.
Like he might not even that.
No, I know. But like I'm just trying to think of I don't know. I think to say that Puka and Davante are the best, I think it's Chase and Higgins. I think it's the best wide receiver duo.
Would you give him top 5 though, Davante and Puka? Like I don't know. I just feel like how Matt Stafford can just go target crazy on these guys. That could be something that it's like, I saw a tweet that said worst possible thing to happen to Davante Adams. Matthew Stafford gets hurt and Jimmy Garoppolo's throwing him the football again. That's the backup. Be like, what am I doing here? I'd love Davante just have a good QB again that can, get him going.
I liked Josh Palmer to the Bills. I think that's sneaky, impactful, especially for fantasy.
Yeah, and Matt Collins is at the Patriots. I'm wondering, that's probably bad news for Keon Coleman there at Buffalo. Maybe it's just okay. Yeah. Maybe not bad, not good. Amari Cooper's still out there. They said Chris Godwin left $20 million on the table signing with the Bucs. He could have went to the Patriots.
Yeah, I think the Patriots, the Jaguars, Patriots were both interested in him.
You had an interesting call on Cooper Kupp, Jordan. If you want to share that, I thought that was a decent call.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in play on the Jaguars. There's been a lot of chatter about that recently because the old Gladstone, the new Jaguars GM, is the old assistant Rams GM, and so I don't know though. They signed Yami Brown, so we'll see. Maybe they're out on Cooper Kupp. I don't know because I do think they're going to draft a wide receiver. So
yeah, anyone knows what Cooper Kupp has. It's probably their GM, right? So QB's out there still. I honestly, selfishly, I wanted the Seahawks to take Jameis Winston just so he could just throw Jackson Smith-Njigba the ball every single play. I really wanted Jerry Jeudy to have a QB that could really feed him and Tillman, but I don't think Kenny Pickett's that guy. We got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. I actually thought Russ was going to end up a New York Jet yesterday. And, the crazy thing is people listening to this is going to be so much stuff's probably happened since we've recorded this. Where do we think Russ goes, Phil? I know you got your ear to the ground on Russ.
I think he stays in Pittsburgh.
You think they keep him?
Yeah, I can't even remember I can't remember where he was getting paid last year, but I think they end up keeping him. I think they end up keeping Russ, even if they get Aaron Rodgers. It would be very weird.
No,
but
they will not keep Russ and go Rodgers.
What are they going to do with him? Just release him?
Well, the Broncos are paying him, right?
I thought Russ was a free agent.
Yeah, Russ is a free agent.
Yeah, but where does he land if the Steelers tell him to walk? Where does he go? That's the thing. I don't know. He doesn't. Yeah, exactly. I think he might just be like, "Hey, I'll back up Aaron Rodgers and hope he gets hurt."
They're not. Why would they re-sign him?
They're not doing that.
Bill?
Colts.
All right, well, just watch.
Colts.
No, Colts, absolutely not.
Have him go in there and compete with Richardson. Why not? That's where Phillip Rivers went. Who else went there? That's where quarterbacks could retire.
Matt Ryan,
Phillip Rivers. Why not Russell Wilson? Throw him in there.
Arizona.
Kyler, I know fantasy points aren't everything. It is a fantasy pod. Kyler had more fantasy points than Russell Wilson.
It's true.
Phil.
That was strictly from football, just football to football. Which maybe Kyler performed well in just that too. Panthers, maybe?
No, Bryce Young, I think they're happy with Bryce Young. He finished strong. I literally, I'm looking at top 25. Let me expand this to 30.
There's only 2 spots. The Giants are open.
Titans,
and the
maybe?
Browns are open.
Yeah, I don't think Titans want to do that either.
Who's at the Saints? Trent, it's Carr and who?
Jake Hayner.
Oh, Hayner, that's right.
And Spencer Rattler.
Rattler.
I really don't know where Russell Wilson goes.
Yeah, he might be strapping it up these upcoming weekends for the USFL if he can't figure out a landing spot.
Someone will get hurt, and he'll probably be on that short list to be called for that. Dolphins signed Zach Wilson. Sure,
Dolphins signed Zach Wilson.
Hey,
yes, that's
that
true.
Is actually a good move for the Dolphins. I've been begging for them to just get they should make they need to sign a free agent QB. The last 2 years, every time Tua gets hurt, that guy can fall out of his bed and probably get a concussion at this point. The guy.
That's where Jameis should have went. They probably didn't want to pay him enough money.
Yeah, that would be a perfect Jameis spot. Him just chucking it up to Tyreek Hill and Waddle, that'd be great. He could totally revitalize Waddle's career. Tyreek Hill and Jameis Winston would feed families. Probably all of Tyreek Hill's family, if I'm being honest.
Guys, you got to find someone that loves you as much as Trent loves Jameis Winston. Like
it's true. He does love the guy.
Special bond there, between Jameis and Trent.
And Trent, there's nothing wrong with that. You're a fan. That's okay.
I'm a fan. Yeah. Like, who would you rather be? Let's all vote here on Spotify or go over to YouTube at TFF Dudes. Who would you rather be a fan of? Russell Wilson, like Phil, or Jameis Winston? I think every team.
How are you turning that around on me? I just had your back. You should have said like Jordan and Trevor Lawrence, Seth and I don't know. I think he's a big. Who's like the lead character in his favorite anime movie?
Ash Ketchum.
There we go. Is that Pokemon?
Seth and Demon Slayer.
Anyhow, no, there's nothing wrong with being a fan of Jameis Winston. I think Russ may have played his last season of football. There's a good chance he did.
You just said he was going to back up Aaron Rodgers. Like maybe you're just having.
That's the only thing I can. That's the only thing I can think of, dude. Like where does he go, Trent? Is he going to start like a franchise in Wyoming or Montana? Like I don't
stop.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I have no. Yeah, like I can't figure it out. Like I'm looking at it here. It's a backup role somewhere. I feel like he should, unless the Steelers are just like. If I'm the Tomlin, I'm like, hey, I've seen enough. It's kind of what I'm like. Like
he's not going back to Pittsburgh.
Jordan? Who would you rather have, Rodgers or Russ though?
Ooh.
Here's the problem though, Trent. You act like Rodgers is going to come in and save the organization. Like the dude is so old. You don't think they could bring Russ back for? That's what I'm saying. They need a backup quarterback. I would not be.
Russ is not backup material.
You just said 2 minutes ago he was going to be backing someone up.
I agree, but you don't have your backup quarterback get on an airplane to start doing jumping jacks at 3 a.m. in the morning. Like the guy cannot.
I just don't know. Like when you get Aaron Rodgers, you are getting damaged goods. No offense.
We mean that in the nicest way possible.
The guy is injury prone. He's also going to stay. He has a heart for the game. Like I also think that Rodgers and the thing about Aaron Rodgers, he's gotten grumpier as he's gotten older in this league. There's no way him and Arthur Smith get along.
I don't know.
There's no way that I don't think him and Arthur Smith get along.
We even spent entirely too much time on Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers.
You could go back and take the whole percentage of everything we've talked about on this pod. And like Russell Wilson probably is like 25% of all we've ever talked about.
And the guy, literally not even play football next year. Like I don't understand what we're doing.
And Phil's not sure if the NFL will be better without him.
And chalk it up to me saying that the Raiders are going to win the West next year. I'm sure Aaron probably loves that. Aaron agrees with me.
Yeah. All right, guys. If you need more fantasy football, head over to X and give me a follow at TFF Dudes, where I'm delivering fantasy football 8 days a week, 25 hours a day. You can always check in with me there. Check the DMs.
Can I ask you a question?
Tweet at me. Yo.
Your name is the Fantasy Farmer. Your name on is that because you play like that farmer game online?
Yeah.
Do you play Farmville online? Is that why you call yourself that?
I'm not going to say I haven't played Farmville, but I have played. It's been a while.
You met your first girlfriend on Farmers Only. Like where is the Fantasy Farmer coming from? Like where did you come up with that name? I just thought it was a good name,
and they said that face. I don't want to get too into the weeds of my Twitter name, but they just said I've heard
that makes it sound way worse. Why don't you?
No. They say Twitter, so X profiles grow faster when there's a face to them, not a brand. That's why I did it.
Yeah. And you're willing to put a bet on your face. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Actually, this is totally backfired. I should probably change it back. Just don't have the heart to change the @'s name just because people know me on there like that. So I think we've talked a lot about free agency. Is there any other moves we want to, talk about here? Or should we kind of get into, I got top 5 fantasy wide receivers. We got our sandwich Mount Rushmore.
I think
you want to just shoot from the hip top 5 fantasy receivers right now? Or is there another move? Jordan, has Schefter tweeted anything else or, Rappaport since we've
I was looking at I don't look at Rappaport. I don't look at Schefter.
Here's the thing, Trent. We're struggling with content these days. I think we
aren't struggling with content. You just talked for 10 minutes about Russell Wilson being a starter in the league. Like, what content?
I think we are struggling for content. Then,
yes, that's what I'm saying. If I'm talking about Russell Wilson,
Phil had too much passion to be struggling. Phil's talking about starting an NFL team in Wyoming. Like, I don't know where this guy's brain is, but it's a special place.
You said top 5 from the hip, Trent.
Let's go top 5 from the hip. And if you scroll down, you can see last year's top 5 there in the show doc.
Let's see. This is easy. Okay. We got Jamar Chase at 1. We got, Justin Jefferson with Sam Darnold. I don't know if I can.
Yeah. We don't know Jefferson's QB right now.
Yeah, it's definitely Jamar Chase at 1. That's I'm going to go Amon St. Brown 2. Puka 3, Justin Jefferson 4, and then the CD bounce back at 5.
Okay, I like that. So you had, Seth, you got yours ready?
So it would have been basically it's like the same top 5 from last year, except Puka in for Tyreek, right?
And you don't have Brian Thomas in for yours either. So last year's top 5 was Chase, Jefferson, St. Brown, Thomas, London.
I meant last year's preseason top 5.
Okay.
Consensus top 5 wide receivers. It's the same 5 coming back this year, except Puka for Tyreek, right?
Yeah, it's hard to put Brian Thomas back in there, I feel like, and it's hard to put Neighbors in there.
Yeah, they're just not there.
I just don't see them making that jump.
They're top 10, but they're not top 5 yet.
Yeah. Okay, Seth, you got yours ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chase. I think that's pretty easy there for me. Then I'll go. I want Jefferson has to be in this list, so I'll throw Jefferson at 5. I'm sorry, I'm kind of filling it in weird here. I'll go.
Get spicy. Who's one player?
Let's go.
Who's one wide receiver?
Let me throw this in here. I'm gonna throw JSN at 5. I'm gonna throw
you.
Jefferson at 4, and then I'll probably do. I think Puka at 3 makes sense, and then at 2. And who else is out there?
Cortland Sutton.
No. I feel like I said 6 guys or 5 guys already. Did I say 5 already?
4. You said 4.
Yeah.
Who am I missing?
Same ASB. You're missing.
Oh
ASB.
yeah, that's what I missed. There, yep. There we go.
All right.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna throw Puka above him though.
Okay. So I got Jamar.
Count is hard.
I got Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. I made the argument about him being QB proof last offseason. So I got Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, QB proof, CeeDee Lamb at 3, Amon-Ra St. Brown at 4, Puka at 5. That's my top 5 fantasy wide receivers right now at the moment. Feels weird not putting like Brian Thomas in there. I don't see Drake London. Like Drake London could be a guy with Penix that maybe shoots up the board more. I don't know, but of course injury stuff like that. But I think that's a solid 5 right there, and we're all pretty similar. I like Seth's JSN call right there. I think more targets, new offensive coordinator, and I think next week we should do a top 5 fantasy running backs. We'll just go from the hip, just shoot them straight right there.
That's probably a little bit harder, but
yeah, harder. It should be more all over the place. And then I don't know, like I have the huddle here. If you guys want to talk, I don't know any huddle talk you guys want to do here, or if we go right into the Mount Rushmore, Phil. Like,
let's get the Rushy.
Can I just make?
Can we do the huddle talk now? Since he called it Rushy, I don't know what that is. So let's go back to the huddle.
that was I don't.
A little Rushy.
I just want you guys. I just want everybody. Just something I got off my chest here. Then we'll break the huddle. So, Do you ever offer someone food and then they take more? You don't want to complain about people taking food, but then it's also you offered it, so you can't complain that much. But today at work, there was a guy getting protein, and I'm like, yeah, I'm almost out. You can have some. So I probably have 2.5 scoops left. How many scoops do you think the guy took?
2
scoops.
Probably took it all. I would say he probably
2
just
scoops.
dumped it.
You know, it's one serving size is one serving scoop. So like, what, do you think that's the right thing to do? Like, what would you have done, Phil? Would you have like looked at the bag and been like, "Hey, I'm going to clean this puppy out," or would you just say, "Hey, I'm just taking 1 scoop"?
Well, here's the thing. I don't share drinks with you, so I'm not sure.
It's a bag. You get a
sorry.
scoop in there and you dump it. Okay. So,
I know.
So that's a whole nother thing.
I know. I could see you sharing drinks with a coworker though. I would say probably. I would probably, I'm like pretty thoughtful. I probably would have taken like.
Would you have like read the bag and said like, "What's the serving size"? Would you have done that? Like, oh, it's 1 scoop.
No, I would have done like half a scoop or a full scoop, and that's it.
Okay, yeah. Jordan, what would you have done? Would you have like read the serving size, been like, "Oh, I need 2 scoops"? Like, I'm just curious.
You don't need 2 scoops of protein. Is it whey protein?
Okay. So, Seth, why did you clean out all my protein?
You said I could use it, and honestly,
I know. I thought you would take a scoop. I didn't realize I was going to be protein less tomorrow.
My protein shake. I always do too.
Have you ever looked?
He was just doing it dry.
Have you ever looked at the serving size on the back that says 1 or 2 scoops? Is that a?
No, the serving size said 1, and I usually put 2 in mine.
Okay, all right. Well, just
making
sure you can read, brother.
You can absorb more than 40 grams of protein in 1 serving.
Is this a true story?
This is a true story, Jordan.
Yeah.
The guy's like, "I don't have any protein." I'm like, "Hey, man, I have a little bit left. You can try mine. I'm ordering some
Trent,
soon."
I will buy you a bag.
Of course, the guy sees like 2.5 scoops in there, and he's like, "I guess I'll just do this." Like, I just figured I'm going to read the bottle.
You came in with a drink already, so I thought you had you.
Yeah, I had another one at 3:00, and I was, basically had nothing there. I had to like.
So
you had Seth, 1 scoop left.
Seth, why didn't you just finish it instead of leaving half a scoop?
Thank you, Jordan.
I don't know. The bag was huge. I thought there was enough for 1 more scoop in there.
It's basically like the guy who drinks milk and then puts like enough for a swig left. It's like, thanks, man, but just finish that off for me.
What's this protein in a bag that you have? I've never seen protein in a bag.
Well, have you ever been to Costco?
No, you guys have protein in a bag. He lives under a rock.
I honestly think Phil has no idea what we're talking about right now. Like his mind is just totally.
I feel like they all.
It's okay. You're a power walker. We get it.
Shaker either before too.
I thought they become. You use a shake weight. I thought they all come in like a protein tub.
There's tubs, there's bags. Just next time you're checking out at Costco, just look to your left right there. You'll see about 8 different bags.
The one right by Costco checkout. That's the only one that guy's ever seen.
Yeah.
I've never seen this, but I don't need protein. I just, I do my lifts without it because I'm not a sissy, and just rely on the good Lord. I rely on the good Lord and some coffee. Yeah,
you rely on the good Lord and some bands. That's what you do. You're like over there doing band workouts.
No, I've been working out. I've been working out. I've been getting fit, dude. I'm not doing the stair stepper like you at lunch.
That protein to fuel his workouts.
Trent has.
Maybe you should upgrade to 1 scoop rather than none, Phil. While Seth's over here double scooping.
Yeah, dry mouthing it.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, I don't know. So, yeah, there we go right there. So, I just wanted everyone's opinion. Let me know your opinion on Spotify there, guys, if you're listening, or over at YouTube at TFF Dudes. Give us a like, give us a sub, and yeah.
So I want to hear what type of protein Seth uses. Seth, let's just educate us on the bagged protein that you use.
Dude, speaking of Costco, just totally different subject.
Whey protein?
It was like hand-to-hand combat in there on Saturday. Made 0 cents. It was like worse than Christmas.
I don't know.
If that's your version of hand-to-hand combat, that's embarrassing. Go ahead, Seth.
No, you didn't know protein was in a bag 5 minutes ago.
You also thought it fueled your workouts.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's supplement. Yeah, that's the thing.
Phil's like, I drink Tang. You ever heard of it?
Seth, what protein are you taking? I'm sure it's probably some like her mix or something like that.
A skinny girl.
No, I have a flavored one that I drink in the morning with water, and then I have a non-flavored one that I have with my shake usually. But
Fun fact, if you're used to non-flavored protein, you probably should do 9 scoops to get flavor.
No, you don't need flavor. It's flavorless. That's why you have a banana and you have other stuff in there and give it flavor.
All right.
The amount of health that you've been spewing makes me absolutely sick, but let's just move on.
So let's jump here into the Mount Rushmore. Today's Mount Rushmore is brought to you by our friends over at Sleeper, guys, our absolute favorite place to play fantasy football. Also, March Madness is almost here. Go ahead, start your March Madness bracket there, invite your friends, all the friends in your fantasy football league. Just re-up it with the March Madness bracket right there. Have everybody pay. Good stuff. Head over to Sleeper, promo code DUDES100. Match you up to $100, guys. Lots of DFS fun there. Head over to Sleeper. Absolute best place to play fantasy football. So head over to Sleeper, guys. Today's Mount Rushmore. We are doing our favorite sandwiches. These can be handmade. These can be at a store. Phil, just don't get too elaborate and like make up some sandwich that no one even really knows what it is. That's all I ask, brother.
I rarely do that. I said charcuterie was a Super Bowl item.
You do it
ever since.
You haven't done it since charcuterie, since the Super Bowl when you just went way out there. You've gotten way better. Just have to remind you, man. Keep the training wheels on, brother.
Okay.
Who wants to go first here? Phil, you want to go first? Seth?
I'm gonna say Jordan. I'm gonna nominate Jordan.
All right.
I'll go
We're
first.
gonna go tuna here. What else, Jordan?
It doesn't have to be in order, right? Is it in
Doesn't
order?
have to be order. Mount Rushmore.
Okay, so in no particular order, a chicken salad sandwich is always really good. You get the relish in the chicken salad. Egg salad sandwich. That's definitely up there for me. The two kind of
that's a
chicken salad.
Those are basically the same.
No, I grew up on those, man. Chicken salad sandwiches and egg salad sandwiches.
I feel you.
No, a good egg salad is really good. But and then I'm gonna go with a number 2 from Porter Subs, the ham turkey on wheat with pepper jack.
Okay, for our listeners who don't live in California
or Central Valley,
I said a ham turkey on pepper jack on wheat.
So
do you like that smoked cheddar? Any of you guys try the smoked cheddar at Porter Subs?
No,
I love that. It's so good.
You get it toasted. You get the olives, the jalapenos on it, the lettuce. And then I'm going to go with the sweet onion chicken teriyaki from Subway on wheat with pepper jack as well.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
You want me to go? I'll go. So I think I got to go peanut butter and jelly. That's just comfort food right there. Simple. Can use it whenever.
Simple, dips it in milk.
Midnight snack on the road. Get it Uncrustable. Whatever you got to do. Peanut butter and jelly. Most versatile sandwich. No one hates peanut butter and jelly. I think that's a win.
Unless you're allergic to peanut butter, then you hate it.
All right. Next, I'm going to go Monte Cristo. Those are the absolute best. Fried ham and Swiss, dip it in jam. Maybe a little too much jam on this list here for you. But so I got PB&J, Monte Cristo, and then I'm going to go, maybe this is a little wild one for what I have here. I'm going to go meatball marinara. Okay, meatball marinara. I think those are good. And then last here on the list, I am going to go with just a club sandwich. You know, they got the toothpicks in there. You got some bacon in there, tomatoes. I think that's a solid list right there. So I got PBJ, Monte Cristo, meatball marinara, and then bringing it home with the club sandwich. I think that's a solid list, guys. Seth, what are you thinking here? You got bologna and tuna. I don't hate tuna either. You guys hate tuna here? Are we tuna haters?
No, I love tuna.
I'm a tuna guy. Seth?
I'm going to go a nice tri-tip sandwich with barbecue sauce. Sometimes some onion. You know, you get it on like a nice buttered, bread roll. It's good. Then I'm going to go. I always like a nice like salami and pepper jack sandwich. That's good. Feels pretty fresh to me with some banana peppers. It's good. I usually put that on like a sourdough, not toasted. Okay, that's more like my, I don't know, the cold fresh sandwich. And then sometimes I like to get the, why am I blanking on this meat? What it's called? A hot pastrami sandwich with a nice mustard on there.
Little au jus.
You get it a double grilled or whatever you call it. I don't know how they say it, but yeah, it's good with the melted cheese. Man, it's amazing.
Who is they? Who is they? Say it. What are you talking about? Like, is
I
this
don't
from
know,
a
Porter Subs? I don't know if it's called
okay.
Yeah,
I just didn't know. I didn't know who they was, so I wasn't sure if it was like a specific restaurant you were going to, or
I got some misses on my list. Seth, I'm surprised you didn't say
Wait,
Monte
Seth,
Cristo.
He has one more.
Let me get.
Seth has one more,
and then
Phil,
also me.
Phil, just be quiet, please. Thank you. Sorry, Seth.
And then I'll probably go PB&J. That was one of my go-tos. Something really quick.
Yeah. See, why the hate on peanut butter and jelly? I don't understand. Like that's probably the most.
I actually like my PB&J on wheat bread though over white. I'm not a big white bread kind of guy.
Yeah,
it's honestly, always wheat bread.
I'll take all bread. Phil,
I don't know if you guys ever had this though. You toast sourdough bread and you do PB&J on it.
Yeah, Phil has a sourdough starter kit actually. So
iconic.
Phil, I'm glad.
People who do peanut butter on sourdough, Seth, makes me absolutely sick. I cannot. What you do that regularly?
No.
Oh, okay. It's just like your little treat, maybe sometimes late in the evening.
Yeah, I don't know. You've never put peanut butter on
sourdough? No, peanut butter on sourdough is nasty.
I don't know. I think if you put butter in peanut butter on anything, it's probably pretty good.
No, I will say homemade sourdough, Phil, is probably different than the sourdough you buy at the store.
Yeah, Trent, I've had homemade sourdough. I would still not put peanut butter on it, but yeah, do what you
think
do.
Peanut butter and jelly is usually that thing that's
here.
Peanut butter and jelly is that thing that's always there. Maybe not your number one, but it's like, hey, I'm going to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's like, you're not too picky on the bread. You're just going to go for it. You're not like, no. Like, you even do peanut butter and jelly on a tortilla. They call that, like, what, a California burrito or something?
I think that's
Have you heard of that, though?
I have not. I would not do that. That's where the lines get blurred.
It's not something I go for, but it is something that people do. They call it a California.
This is the type of thing when you start bringing up stuff like that, people think that you microwave your quesadillas just for what it's worth. Like when you start saying all these weird mixes that you do, it's more believable that you microwave your quesadillas.
Yeah, people think I'm the idiot. You didn't know protein came in a bag 5 minutes ago, so just sit this one out, Chief.
And did you wear your mustard colored shirt because we were doing a Mount Rushmore?
No, I wore this because it's a sponsor called Underdog Fantasy. You should check it out.
My bad. All right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Number one sandwich. Seth, I have to agree with you here. You described it terribly just for what it's worth, but an Italian sub is absolutely fantastic. You did describe it well and by way of saying that it's like a fresh sub, but just like a lot of meat on it. You got salami, you got like, I could go. I think there's actually like several different salami, capicola, prosciutto,
Here we go again.
Pepperoni.
Here we go again. We have a list and Phil's going to add 35 things like, this will amount to the masses.
It's an Italian sub.
It's like, hey, you just went through the whole entire Subway menu, bud. So it's just like...
That is what it's called. It's called an Italian sub. If you look up what an Italian sub is, it has all of those items. But Seth, you are right. Some nice cheese in there, a little mustard mayo, maybe a little bit of like salt, pepper on there, maybe a little bit of vinegar.
We get what it is, bud. What's your next one?
Absolutely fantastic. So Italian sub is my number one. The other thing that I love is I love a sausage, pepper, and onion I feel like that's a sandwich, right? You throw that in like one of those big loaves. I wouldn't call it a hot dog. It's like a sausage sandwich.
Well, I did say meatball marinara, and I feel like this is kind of in the same vein.
Yes, totally fair.
I think a meatball sandwich is pretty commonly known. I've never heard someone describe it. He's
talking about a hot link, like a hot link sandwich, is what you're saying, right, Phil?
Yeah, correct.
My bad.
You just grab a hot
totally
link
disagree.
right off the pan or over the fire, and you grab a piece of bread and you just wrap that thing.
No, Phil does it raw.
Oh.
The next thing that I'm going to say is Philly cheesesteak.
That's solid.
It's my namesake sandwich, basically. Namesake sandwich, Philly cheesesteak, very delicious. Made usually with, ribeye cuts, chopped up with cheese, peppers. Again, me and the peppers get along really well. Peppers and onions, the sausage sandwich, the salami sandwich. And then I think for the basic one, I think you got to go another cold sandwich. You just go turkey and cheddar with mayo, maybe a little avocado and bacon on it. Like that's like my ideal, it's a Saturday, there might be some college football on.
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe some
Pac-12
maybe
after
some
dark.
in there.
Pac-12 after dark.
Here's the problem with like a nice sub. There are times when it could be 10 PM and I'm just like, I'm going to make a nice nice turkey sandwich. You know what I'm saying? You can never get, sick of making. I'm a huge sandwich guy. I don't know if you guys can tell. I love sandwiches. There was this place in LA that I used to go to regularly for it was like a $6 sub. It's not called Subway, believe it or not. But anyhow, just very delicious subs. Went there regularly. Had a lot of different delicious beverages there as well that you could grab and go. I love butcher shops. I love sandwich shops, especially there's one in Slow. What is it called? High Street. Have you guys been there?
Yes.
No.
Seth, that place is delicious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. Just took forever to get food.
It takes forever to get food. They have this Dutch crusted, what is it called? Dutch crusted sandwich. Is that what it's called, Seth?
Dutch crunch bread.
I don't remember
Dutch
what I
crunch
got.
bread.
I just remember being that was good. Just had to wait an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your whole list, Phil?
I could keep going, but I know I'm supposed to be stuck at 4.
I have an honorable mention list. I think that were some misses. What's your honorable mention, Jordan?
Too. Well, when I said sandwiches, when you said sandwiches, I thought like cold sandwiches. I wasn't really thinking like a pulled pork sandwich, like a French dip. Like I wasn't thinking like heavy meats, So like, obviously like pulled.
That's
pork,
the band Trent was in high school. Heavy Meats.
Heavyweights, great movie.
I was a lead singer, unfortunately.
Yeah, he really could hit the acapella. Anyways, what's your other one, Jordan? Sorry.
Like pulled pork. I think French dips got to be on there too. Like
I want to do French dip.
Yeah, there's a lot So,
Jordan, I liked your egg sandwich. That's probably an honorable mention for me. I think grilled cheese deserved a spot on this. I think a grilled cheese with tomato soup, hard to beat. Also, sloppy joes. I'm a big sloppy Joe guy. Probably like top 10, probably not top 5 though. You know what I'm saying? So all you sloppy Joe fans back there.
Sorry, I'm crying. I'm really crying.
Seth's over here losing his cookies. Phil is, I don't know. Tuna melt felt like had a spot here, maybe. But
I thought Trent was going to say ice cream sandwiches. He was getting so obscure with all of his stupid sandwiches.
You're so dumb. Anyways, those aren't terrible.
I should have known after I saw your picture on Twitter with I will say those sandwiches are but I think the ones at Disney are fried, aren't they?
Monte Cristos, I've had one at McClintock's.
Monte Cristos are always fried.
Yeah. McClintock's in San Luis Obispo. I don't know what it is about the San Luis Obispo sandwiches, but there's Monte Cristo. If it's on the menu, I will order a Monte Cristo, and I will never not be satisfied.
Well, here's the thing, Trent. The one that I saw looked like it was like breaded and then fried.
It is.
They're always fried.
Okay, so I've had it multiple ways. I've had the fried ones, and then I've also had it just like where it's
toasted.
Almost like it was almost like a French toast type sandwich.
Yeah, that was kind of more of like a beignet. How do you say them? Beignets?
Beignet.
It was a beignet. So, but it was good. You got to dip it in the strawberry jam.
It's just this one kind of like they put the meat and stuff inside it and then fried it all the way around. Like you couldn't see the meat until you bit into the sandwich.
Yeah.
Or the cheese.
It's true. But hey, I think we need to wrap it up. We will be back next week. Missed you guys. Remember, give me a follow on X. Remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. If you enjoyed this pod, share it with a friend. Be like, hey, listen to these sandwiches. These guys like peanut butter way too much. But anyways, give me a follow at TFF Dudes. We will see you next time. And as always, guys, take care.